Hey, it's Cliff Almond, and I just received these new Firth Titan 5B drumsticks. This is a carbon fiber drumstick. It's a relatively new line from Firth. I haven't really been in a position to try this model actually up to this point, because most of the stuff I've been doing is lighter stuff. Wood tip SD4 combos is what I normally use. But there's a gig that I do in New York City sometimes subbing for a friend of mine on Spider-Man on Broadway. And it's a really hard-hitting kind of a rock show, and I usually use wood tip 5Bs for that. And I decided to kind of do a test of these and see how they stack up against the 5Bs, the wood 5Bs. And just now taking them out of the box for the first time, it's interesting. They don't really feel, they feel remarkably close to wood. That's the first thing I'm noticing. They're really well balanced too. Normally, I'm not a fan of sticks that are not made from wood because they don't have the same give, especially if you're hitting really hard. It tends to mess up my arm here, especially if I'm doing it consistent, like a tour thing, if I'm doing a rock thing every night and we're hitting really hard. The give of the stick is really kind of important to me, that if it doesn't have that, it's kind of like hitting a baseball bat against a brick wall every night, you know. But the first thing I'm noticing is how these feel. I mean, they're really close to wood, so it'll be interesting to see how they stack up against 5Bs on this show. The show is really hard hitting, as I said, and I'm going to do, I think, 10 of them in a row, and just sort of see how these things stack up through that process. So usually on the Spider-Man thing, if I do it for any more than 3 or 4 shows or 4 or 5 days, I start going through 5B wood sticks. They usually kind of break right in the middle here. You can see in the video that there's a spot right in the middle of the stick where it starts to kind of come apart. That's because the whole thing is rim shotting with the left hand and hitting really hard, and you're trying to be as consistent as possible. That tends to wear out the middle of the stick. I'm noticing with these sticks that after, now looking at them after maybe 4 days of gigs, there's not really very much, there's not a lot of wear on them in the middle. Holding up well, not too much damage. I mean, this is like 5 or 6 shows of really hitting quite hard. After about a week of using these, I was pretty impressed with them. They didn't really get beat up that much, despite the fact I was hitting really, really hard with them. The middle section, as I mentioned before, is like not even touched, barely at all. And I didn't have any problems with the give of the stick, as I had mentioned before. I dug in pretty hard for the most part, and I didn't have any arm problems as a result of these not being wood. The sound was relatively consistent. They didn't leave a lot of marks on the drums or the cymbals either, which is something that some of us have had complaints on with other sticks that are not made from wood. Sometimes they leave black marks or things like that, but these didn't really do that. My initial response after a week of really putting these through the ringer is that they're really strong. I'm sure that they'll break at some point, but I don't see any sign of it yet. So I'll keep trying them, but for now, I'm really happy with them.